All right, thanks, guys. We are once again coming off a 3-2 day yesterday on my Patreon website. It's going to put us at 7-2 in our last 9 picks on that website. We're also 4-0 in our last 4 daily best plays. And we're 3-0 with a push in our last 4 board member package plays. Link for that site is in the description section below. Patreon.com/BrockPage. All right, let's go ahead and dive into some college basketball action. We have a huge slate today, and we're going to focus in on 8 games here this afternoon and this evening. So let's go ahead and begin with SMU taking on Memphis. 4 o'clock Eastern tip-off in Memphis. The Tigers are minus 4.5, total at 140 and a hook. Now, we did see a 1-point fade of Memphis and movement upward on the total. The Tigers open as the 5.5-point favorite, down to minus 4.5. Total open 139, up to 140 and a hook. 52% of the consensus are leaning toward Memphis. 61% shaded toward the over. And right now, the Mustangs of SMU, they are plus $1.80 on the money line. Now, SMU's dropped 2 out of their last 4 games. They also failed to cover the point spread in 3 out of their last 5. They're shooting just 30% from downtown on the road. They're also giving up 73 points per contest away from home as well. Now, Memphis on the other side, winners of 10 out of their 11 home games this year. They also went 7-4 against the spread in those 11. Precious Achiuwa, 15 points a game, 10 rebounds, 2 blocks for Memphis. DJ Jeffries, 11 points a game, 5 rebounds. And Les Quinones, 11 points, 3 rebounds for the Tigers. Memphis also ranks in the top 10 in the nation in offensive rebounding, and they're in the top 3 in defensive field goal percentage. Now, total-wise, SMU is 70% to the over in their last 10. I'm going to lean Memphis minus 4.5 and the over 140 and a hook in that game. Next matchup, Tennessee taking on Kansas, 4 o'clock Eastern tip-off in that game. The Jayhawks are the 13-point favorite, total at 128. Now, we did see a 1-point fade of Kansas. I'm not really surprised about that with a couple suspensions there. Total did go up 3 points, however. Once again, Kansas opened as the 14-point favorite, down to minus 13. Total open 125, up to 128. 52% are leaning Kansas, 68% shaded toward the over. And right now, the Vols are plus $8 on the money line. Tennessee's been victorious in 4 out of their last 5 games. They rank in the top 10 in the country in points allowed. They're giving up just 59 points per contest. They also rank in the top 15 in defensive field goal percentage. Their opponents are shooting just 37% from the field. Jordan Bowden, 12 points a game, 4 rebounds for him. John Fulkerson, 12 points a game, 6 rebounds. And Yves Pons, 11 points a game, 5 rebounds, and 3 blocks for the Volunteers. Now, Kansas on the other side, 7-1 to the under in their last 8. 13-5 to the under thus far on the year. Is that at home? I think it's just 13-5 to the under overall for the year. But regardless, a lot of unders for this Kansas squad. I'm going to lean Tennessee plus 13 and the under 128 in that contest. Next matchup, Oklahoma State taking on Texas A&M. 4 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Oklahoma State's minus 2, total at 126. We saw a 1-point move toward Oklahoma State and movement upward on the total. The Cowboys open as the 1-point favorite, up to minus 2. Total open 124.5, up to 126. 54% are leaning Oklahoma State, 76% on the over. Right now, Texas A&M is plus $1.25 on the money line. The Aggies have been victorious in 6 out of their last 9. They're also 7-3 straight up on their home court. They rank in the top 45 in the country in points allowed. They're also in the top 30 in defensive field goal percentage. Now, Oklahoma State on the other side, ice cold right now. I don't know what happened to this program as of late. Losers of their last 6 straight. They're averaging just 65 points per contest when traveling. And total-wise, Texas A&M 70% to the under at home. I'm going to lean toward the Aggies plus 2, getting the job done at home, and the under 126 in that game. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take another quick timeout and welcome you to the show. Got some lines of personal leans out for Saturday's college basketball action. happy Saturday to you. Hopefully you guys are having a great weekend. And of course, after this upload, I got all my bets booked online on my phone, so no need to go to the casino. But after we're done with this upload, we're taking a little family trip to the arcade today. So basically, we're going to the casino for kids. But you best believe me and the wife, we're going to be playing that coin game where, you press the button, it drops out the quarter, and then the thing slides back and forth, and it pushes the quarters into the slot. So, yeah, we're going to definitely be playing that today. But anyway, guys, before we go ahead and move on, I got to do you the service of at least reminding you about my Patreon website, where I do daily premium picks on that site beginning at just $1.99 per month. We went 3-2 yesterday in our premium picks on that site. That's going to put us at 7-2 in our last 9 picks. We're 4-0 in our last 4 daily best plays. The daily best play is a package that I offer, and it's just $1.99 through the rest of the month. We're also 3-0 with a push in our last 4 board member package plays, and I do have a live board member package play that'll go off tonight. So a lot of good stuff going on there. You may be wondering, well, why would I buy a package from Brock Page when I can get the picks for free on YouTube? What I tell you is this: you really do not want to bet every single game on the board side in total. It's a recipe for disaster. So what I do on Patreon, I make life a lot easier for you. I break it down and focus in on just 3 to 4 premium selections per day. They're games that I personally have action on, high percentage picks. And I'll tell you what, my current Patreon record is a whole lot better than it is here on YouTube, handicapping every single game on the board, throwing darts. So you're going to want to check me out on that site. Link for that site is in the description section below. Once again, patreon.com/BrockPage. All right, let's go ahead and get into some more free lines and personal leans right here on YouTube. All starts Eastern Standard Time. On deck, we've got TCU taking on Arkansas, 4 o'clock Eastern tip-off there. The Razorbacks open 6.5 up to -7. Total open 131.5 up to 132 and a hook. 51% are leaning Arkansas, 64% on the over. Right now, TCU is plus 255 on the money line. The Horned Frogs have won 7 out of their last 10. They also rank in the top 35 in points allowed. Arkansas, on the other side, losers of their last 2 straight. They've also gone just 2 and 3 straight up in their last 5. Now, Arkansas is 8 and 3 to the under on their home court. I'm going to lean TCU plus 7 and the under 132.5 in that contest. Next game, Ole Miss taking on Georgia, and that's going to be a 5:30 Eastern tip-off in that game. The Bulldogs open as the 7-point favorite, down to -6.5. Total open 144 up to 144 and a hook. 56% are leaning Georgia, 53% on the over. And right now the Rebels of Ole Miss, they are plus 220 on the money line. Now Ole Miss is ice cold right now, losers of their last 6 straight. They've also failed to cover the point spread in their last 8 straight as well. They're averaging just 57 points per contest on the road. Georgia, on the other side, 5 and 3 against the number in their last 8. They're also a very strong 9 and 1 straight up on their home court this year. Now, 4 out of Georgia's last 5 games got over the number. They're also 80% of the over on their home court. I'm going to lean Georgia -6.5 and the over 144.5 in that game. Next matchup, Kansas State taking on Alabama, 6 o'clock Eastern tip-off. The Crimson Tide open as the 9-point favorite, down to 8.5. Total open 146.5, down to 146 even. 71% are leaning Bama, 51% on the under. Right now, Kansas State is plus 325 on the money line. K-State, losers of 7 out of their last 9. They also went just 2 and 7 against the spread in those 9 games. They failed to cover in 6 out of their 8 games away from home, and they're averaging just 59 points per contest on the road. Now, Bama on the other side, completely different story. They're 7-2 straight up in their last 9. They're averaging 83 points per contest. Now, 6 out of Alabama's last 9 games got over the number. K-State, 70% to the over in their last 10 themselves. I'm going to lean Alabama -8.5 and the over 146 in that game. Next matchup, banger right here. Kentucky taking on Texas Tech, 6 o'clock Eastern tip-off. The Raiders were 5.5 down to -4. Total open 133.5 down to 133 even. 60% are on Kentucky, 68% on the over. Right now the Wildcats are plus $1.60 on the money line. Kentucky 6-1 straight up in their last 7. They're giving up just 64 points per contest. They also rank in the top 30 in defensive field goal percentage. Texas Tech on the other side, just 2-3 straight up in their last 5. They also failed to cover the point spread in 6 out of their last 9. Total-wise, Kentucky 7-1 to the over in their last 8. I'm going to lean Kentucky plus 4 in the over 133 in that contest. All right, next and final matchup for the show. It is going to be a doozy. I'm talking about Baylor taking on Florida, 8 o'clock Eastern tip-off in that matchup there. The Gators open as the 1.5-point favorite, up to -2. Total open 131, up to 131 and a hook. 54% are leaning Baylor, 67% shaded toward the over. Right now, Baylor is plus $1.15 on the money line. Baylor, winners of their last 10 straight. They are ranked number 1 in the country right now. They're also 7-1 straight up away from home. Now, out of those 8 games away from home, they successfully covered the point spread in 7 out of those 8. So doing a very good job covering the number away from the friendly confines. Now, Baylor ranks in the top 5 in points allowed. Top, looks like 20 in defensive field goal percentage. They're giving up just 58 points per contest, and their opponents are shooting just 37% from the field. Now, Florida on the other side, losers of 2 out of their last 4. They've also failed to cover the point spread in 5 out of their last 8 at home. Total-wise, Florida is 70% to the over in their last 10. I'm going to lean Baylor plus 2 and the over 131.5 in that game. All right, let's go ahead and dive into some well-deserved shout-outs. Once again, brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage. Shout out to One Dracula 209, Jay Fernandez, D. Ray Woods, Michael Hall, Gracious Fundamentalist, Vernon Williard, Rocco's Pizzeria, Yorkshire, Tomas Kozlowski, Thibault 7996. Shout out to Ricky Braun, Bertrand Tech, Montreal. Shout out to Pittsburgh Gentleman, PA. Straight to the point, Calvin Tejane. And last but certainly not least, shout out to Gio Lopez. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. I got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. Happy Saturday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you on patreon.com/BrockPage.